Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that takes the lead in today's edition for Wednesday, 22nd May 2024, and brought to you in association with our friends at Anglican Group. Anglican Church intends to help Barbados seek reparations. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Anglican Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Welcome back. The Anglican Church in Barbados has announced its intention to help Barbados seek reparations for slavery. Bishop, the Right Reverend Michael Maxwell, made the revelation during a service to mark the start of Synod 2024. Sharika Griffith of CBC News has the details.
The Anglican Diocese of Barbados has declared it supports calls for reparatory justice. This follows a pledge of £100 million in January 2023 by the Church of England to address past wrongs after its investment fund was found to have historic links to slavery. Anglican Bishop of Barbados, the Right Reverend Michael Maxwell, says Reverend Canon Dr. Michael Clark will serve as a voice for both the Church and citizens of Barbados in the process.
This is a part of our history we wish to be erased. But we cannot stand still and exempt ourselves from this discussion and not play a part as a diocese in helping ourselves and our citizens to receive the needed help from those nations who unjustly benefited and created extensive wealth from the backs of our enslaved ancestors.
Maxwell was delivering the bishop's charge during a service to mark the start of Synod. It provides a time to review and reflect on the mission of the Church. Acknowledging the local diocese also benefited from slavery, he's outlined several initiatives the Church has been undertaking, including looking into the sale and transfer of land owned by the Church to tenants.
We are also working towards making available our arable lands to assist with the nation's food security, awaiting to have further word with the Ministry of Agriculture. I have also called for the trustees to consider the possibility of granting the use of some arable lands that may be located near to our primary and secondary schools to enable, I don't know if it's called it agricultural science, to be taught and horticulture encouraged among our youth.
Bishop Maxwell says the Church intends to try harder to improve a number of issues impacting the country as it prepares to celebrate 200 years of mission and ministry. As such, Synod will hear a number of presentations on mental health, homelessness, the plight of people with disabilities, and crime. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
Kenya is said to be in the final stages of deploying officers to Haiti, according to a Kenyan official.
As you know, the United Nations Security Council voted to establish the multinational security support mission to Haiti in November of last year. That resolution of the UN Security Council, it's called Resolution 2699, furthermore mandated Kenya to lead that mission. In the weeks or in the months that have followed, Kenya has been in preparatory mode, preparing for this mission. Of course, there has been significant changes on the ground, noteworthy amongst which was the termination of term of the former Prime Minister of Haiti. But subsequent to his exit of power, there has now been inaugurated a presidential council, and a national security institution, and several other institutions that have been put in place pursuant to an accord that was arrived at a few months ago. In view of that, and in view of the decision of the courts in our republic, essentially guiding how Kenya should be able to carry out this deployment, a bilateral reciprocal agreement was entered into between Kenya and Haiti, which facilitates Kenya to be able to deploy. And we are in the process, or government is in the process of finalizing preparation to deploy. I can tell you for sure that that deployment will happen in the next few days, few weeks. But there is no chance at all for President Ruto to go down to Port-au-Prince, as has been alleged. Thank you very much.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick,
in association with our friends at
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, meantime, will soon have a new home in Port of Spain. Attorney General Reginald Amor revealed the new physical location for the DPP's office has been identified and the process is moving forward. TTT News has more.
$55 million was spent by the government in the lease and retrofitting of the office space on Park Street, Port of Spain, intended for the housing of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. This space was ultimately rejected by DPP Roger Gaspard. According to Attorney General Reginald Amor, a new building has been identified for the office of the DPP.
But I can say that the Minister of Finance is in the process of purchasing another building for FC, for the Citizens Bank building on St. Vincent Street, with a view to housing and staff at the invitation of the Attorney General has visited the premises, and that is now in the process of being examined by the different situation experts to make recommendations, but that is being purchased.
On the issue of staffing, AG Amor said considerable collaboration between the Office of the DPP, the Permanent Secretary in the Office of the Attorney General, and the Judicial and Legal Services Commission is ongoing to ensure that key positions are filled.
A number of offices have been filled in terms of State Council 1, State Council 2, State Council 3, and there is a significant move in terms of improving the staff competencies.
Additionally, the Attorney General also mentioned significant ICT improvements for the department. Ayana Carter, TTT News.
Following the announcement of the one-year extension granted to Commissioner of Police Earl Haywood Christopher by the Cabinet, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs in Trinidad and Tobago Senior Counsel Reginald Amor confirmed that even if the nominee is approved by the Parliament, this does not affect the one-year term of the top cop. Details in this TTT News item.
The Attorney General, speaking during Sunday's Delving Deeper program, noted that during Commissioner Haywood Christopher's term, if the Police Service Commission completes its process, presents recommendations to the Parliament, and if one is approved, the current Commissioner's term will not automatically be terminated.
What I would expect naturally would have to happen is that the Commissioner, the incumbent Commissioner, would have to consider whether she continues voluntarily or steps down voluntarily. At this point in time, she has an extension for a fixed period, and that fixed period is from the 14th for a year, and that term can't be affected unless she opts to stand down from that position or something happens in the course of her discharge of her responsibilities that would cause the Police Service Commission to take certain actions. So she'd have to voluntarily step down.
The Cabinet approved another one-year extension to Commissioner Haywood Christopher's term in office, effective May 15, 2024.
The Jamaica Labour Party is not satisfied with Mark Golding's opposition leader's citizenship response. Details in this TVJ News item.
Not not satisfied. The response from the Jamaica Labour Party to the People's National Party's president's declaration, he was born in Jamaica and has a Jamaican passport. The JLP has been pressing Mr. Golding to publicly state whether he is a British citizen. The issue arose following his expressed view last week that persons with dual citizenship should be allowed to seek political office. The statement from the JLP's Deputy General Secretary Charles Sinclair described Mr. Golding's reaction to questions about his citizenship as hypocritical, unacceptable, and disgraceful. Mr. Sinclair stressed that it is ironic that only a few days ago, Mr. Golding deemed it inappropriate for Jamaica to have 1 foot in and 1 foot out of King Charles Yard, as talks about Jamaica's move to become republic intensified. He said the concerns are further justified because Mr. Golding also made suggestions that the constitutional reform process should reconsider the current rule, which bars certain dual citizens from sitting in the Jamaican Parliament. As such, Mr. Sinclair contends a direct answer from the opposition leader is necessary because, quote, Jamaica's aspiring head of government being a citizen of another territory would certainly raise serious questions of loyalty and allegiance, regardless of whether the territory is a member of the Commonwealth, unquote. In going further, the statement says the PNP president should immediately indicate whether he's prepared to do right by the Jamaican people by renouncing his British citizenship. However, on Saturday in a post on social media, Mr. Golding said the JLP was simply grasping at straws amidst the results of the local government election and the recent polls. In indicating that he is a quote, born Jamaican with a Jamaican passport, unquote, Mr. Golding said he has never hidden the fact that his father, a British citizen, got him a British passport as a child. He also said, like other Jamaicans, he applies for visas from countries such as the US and the UK.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so glad to see. Peace of mind, that's a service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.